Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Koji Jeff Ezaki, the resident minister of the Haleiwa Jodo Mission Buddhist Temple. Today is May 2nd, 2021, and we are observing May's family service on my YouTube channel. As I spoke in my last sermon in April, virtual Buddha Day service, I was vaccinated of COVID-19 at the end of April. Although I became fully vaccinated, in the different parts of the world, the cases are still growing, and many people have not received their shots yet. With this in mind, the Haleiwa Jodo Mission Buddhist Temple has decided to observe our 2021 Bon service, Bon dance, and Toro Nagashi virtually. Please understand it. In America, many people are vaccinated. When I saw Haleiwa town, especially on weekends, traffic is slow, and many people are standing in line at the lunch wagons. The restaurants where liquors are served, it is crowded at dinner time. It looks as though COVID has disappeared on this earth. However, Osaka, where my hometown is in Japan, the cases of COVID has increased, so the governor issued an emergency at the end of April. US has had a huge number of deaths from COVID-19. That is why vaccines were available earlier. On the other hand, the number of cases and deaths in Japan are relatively few compared to other developed countries, which is why they received the vaccine supply later. Only 1% of Japanese have received their vaccine shots so far. People in the world are still waiting for their vaccine shots. Worldwide, COVID never ended. When summer starts, more tourists will visit Hawaii. The cases might grow again. Please be careful and stay safe. Okay, let's get started with the service. We will start from the reading of Invocation. Amida Buddha, the awakened one, the compassionate one, we ask for your guidance on this happy day. Lead us from the numbness of routine and from all bitterness of heart to a peaceful place of compassion and wisdom. Grant us the strength, abiding consciousness to work together harmoniously in our temple and our community. Help us to always remember that life is one, and therefore that all living things coexist and are interconnected, and that your infinite light of compassion shines upon the hearts of everyone. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. teaches us that we may become pure and holy by following the rules he laid down for us. Let us repeat them and also remember at all times what they mean. First, right understanding. Let us learn and try to understand the truth. Second, right purpose. Let us try always to do what is right. Third, right speech. Let us be truthful and kind in all we say. Fourth, right conduct. Let us try to behave ourselves at all times. Fifth, right livelihood. Let us earn our living in a way which will not harm anyone. Sixth, right endeavor. Let us constantly try to become better. Seventh, right thought. Let us cherish our thoughts because our words and our actions arise from our thoughts. Eighth, right meditation. Let us think often of Amida Buddha and repeat the sacred name, Namu Amida Butsu. May the sacred presence of Amida, who said he would, by his teaching, be our guide. May we follow his glorious example and tread with unfaltering steps this noble path until we too shall attain enlightenment. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
光明返上実法世界念仏主上摂取者ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブ願にし功徳平等性一切同発菩提心往生安楽国ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブ
Again, good morning everyone. Today is May 2nd, 2021, and we are observing May's family service. Buddhism is a religion confronting death. Shakyamuni taught us life is transient and is fleeting. Everything which has shape is impermanence. The biggest issue for humans is how we accept death. As long as we are alive, we must face death eventually. I often speak about death in my sermons, but someone may say, Sensei, don't speak about death. I don't want to die yet. This is a family service, so I want to listen to positive stories. For example, how to get along with each other, how to spend a happy life, how to become rich, and so on. The story about death sounds negative. However, Shakyamuni said we should investigate death straightly. and think about our life. Why? Because if we accept death, that we die someday, and understand our life is transient, our present moment becomes more colorful. By confronting death every single moment, we notice how to spend our life vividly and brightly every single moment. Buddhism teaches knowing death is the most important thing to live positive. Buddhism likened death as the tiger. Today, I'd like to explain and show points as to why Buddhism teaches death is like tigers. Here are the 4 points. Number 1, scared of it. Number 2, it attacks us all of a sudden. Number 3, everybody owns one. Number 4, cannot escape from it. I will explain the first point, scared of it. The reason why Buddhism compares death as tigers is people feared tigers in ancient times in India. Tigers were the scariest of enemies for humans. Unlike present life, people lived in small villages in the jungles during Shakyamuni's time. Humans were living amongst and a part of wild animals. There are many fierce animals in the forest, and the most scary ones were tigers. There are no flashlights, cars, and guns 2,500 years ago, so the people paid close attention to enemies in their lives. That is why people likened death to tigers. In this present life, we are not attacked by tigers, so what do scare us today? Might it be cancer, stroke, COVID-19, nuclear weapons, earthquakes, or tsunamis? Why are we scared of stomach cancer but not scared of stomach ulcer? Why are we afraid of stroke but not the headache after drinking too much? Everybody scares of COVID but not the flu. How about nuclear weapons, earthquakes, and tsunamis? What is the common among these things? That is death. If we got a stroke, we might die. If we got infected with COVID, we might die. If missiles flew to Hawaii, we might die. All these may lead us to death. Same with the people in India 2,500 years ago. They were scared of tigers in the same way as it was associated with death. Next, I will explain the second point. It attacks us all of a sudden. Tigers and lions are the same species. Both are the largest cat species, but their hunting styles are totally different. Lions hunt in group, and when they find their prey, such as zebras or buffaloes, they will surround their prey and attack from many directions. I think some of you have watched scenes of lions chasing grass eaters in the wild plains on TV or YouTube. But have you ever seen videos or movies of tigers hunting? We hardly see them. Why? Because tigers hide in bushes and jumps on small animals with the suddenness. Tigers' body pattern is camouflage, just like military combat uniforms. They approach the prey little by little and attack at one blow. Death is the same. It attacks us all of a sudden. Nobody knows when it comes. There are some who have gone to work and along the way gets into a traffic accident and died. We often see in the news of innocent people just walking along the street and getting killed by a shooter. Did they expect their death? No, death attacks sudden. When you encounter your last moment, you say, hey, wait a minute, my daughter goes to college, so I have to support her tuition. I cannot die now. Please wait for at least 4 years, please, please. Once the Reaper says, it's your turn, you have to go. Death never waits for us, just like when tigers attack their prey all of a sudden. That is the reason people in India likened death to the tiger. Number 3, everybody owns one. Some may have dogs or cats, and some may not have any, but each one of us absolutely owns a tiger that is lurking behind us. Rich or poor, man and women, young or old, Japanese or American, a tiger follows us all with noiseless steps. This means death strikes us 100% equally. We just don't know when our last moment comes. I also have my tiger behind me, but I just don't realize how far behind he is walking towards me. It is far from me or very close to me. I don't know at all as I live my daily life. Even though I may forget about it, the tiger never forgets about me. Everybody owns their tiger. It aims and is ready to attack us, just like everybody must die someday. And finally, number 4, cannot escape from it. I guess you feel negative when you listen to my sermon now, because today's topic is pretty heavy. How many times did I say death in this sermon? You may think, Sensei said we die anyway, but I don't want to die soon, so I will start exercising and take supplements from today to live longer as much as I can. But it is in vain. Even though you try to run away from your tiger, it surely catches up with you. Once the tiger attacks you, you cannot escape from it. Just like you cannot escape from death, no matter how you spend your life healthy. I'm sure you now understand why Buddhism compares death to tigers. We absolutely face death someday. That is why we must spend our every single moment colorfully, vividly, and brightly. That is the reason Buddhism do not regard death as a negative issue. Jodo Shu teaches that we recite Amida's name, Namu Amida Butsu, as many times as we can and connect with him as much as we can. Throw ourselves to Amida and do good conduct in our limited life is the right attitude as human beings. Shakyamuni left us the teaching of the Eightfold Path to practice daily that we read together. Our life is very short and transient, so let's practice Buddhism and live positively every single moment. Thank you very much. In conclusion, let us all put our hands together in Gassho and recite Amida Buddha's sacred name, Namu Amida Butsu, 10 times. 如来大慈悲愛民5年同生10年ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブ Thank you. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends my happiness or misery. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. To the Buddha who promised to be present in his teaching, we pledge our loyalty and devotion. We dedicate our thoughts, words, and deeds to his service and the way of life he laid down for us. We resolve to follow his example and to have reverence for our religion, respect for our parents and teachers, and love for all forms of life. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Amida Buddha surrounds all men and all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Particularly, thus he sends forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to those in doubt and ignorance, to those who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great change called death. Amida Buddha sends forth oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.